What's going on, guys? I'm Dan. This is Scented Waters, and today I have a review for you from the house of Alexandria Fragrances. But before we go any further, how about you hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and hit that bell. So Alexandria Fragrances has been doing a great job with their fragrances, their inspirations, their clones, whatever you want to call them. And now they're venturing off into solid fragrances. What are solid fragrances, you ask? These bad boys right here. So to be completely honest, I've never really messed around with solid fragrances until Alexandria finally came out with theirs. I've seen them around here and there. Everybody's talked about them slowly here and there, but it's becoming more of a topic now, especially now that Alexandria finally came out with their own products. Each solid fragrance is made with jojoba, argan oil, beeswax, and at least 25% of the fragrance concentrate itself. For the presentation of the solid fragrance, it comes in this nice tin can that says solid fragrance on top, Alexandria in the middle, and the type of fragrance at the bottom, or the inspiration fragrance at the bottom. This one, Irish Gentleman, is Alexandria's take on Green Irish Tweed. On the back of the tin, it has the ingredients. It says that it's an EDP concentration and also a slight description of how to apply. When you open up the tin, you have your solid fragrance on the inside. As you can tell, I've already been using this one. Once again, this is their take on Green Irish Tweed. Solid fragrances are almost like perfume oils. They don't project as much, but they do have a great longevity, in my opinion. The people that I feel that solid fragrances would be great for its actual purpose is for those people that don't really care about projecting too much, being a person that projects across the room. I don't think you really go anosmic to it too much, not as much as other fragrances, at least in my personal experience. But there are other creative ways to get more of a projection when it comes to these fragrances, these solid fragrances. Another way to apply the solid fragrances, besides just putting on pulse points, a gentleman on the Alexandria Facebook page shared to the rest of the group and pretty much blew our minds by using non-scented lotion, Aveeno, which is now the new thing, and the solid fragrance. By taking the lotion, putting it in the hands, and putting a little bit of the solid fragrance, rubbing it all together, warming it up, and rubbing it all over your body. That right there gives a nice, good sillage and also more of a projection rather than just putting them on the pulse points. For those people that want to project a little bit more without using a spray. But another way of using it is doing that and also layering it with the actual fragrance that you have a clone of. I tested that out with Royal Equestrian, and honestly, it was a beast. I felt it worked great. It projected, and it was a nice scent bubble, but it wasn't like too much. It was another way of using the solid fragrances to actually use it as a fragrance booster, where you're putting on the pulse points and actually use the actual fragrance on those pulse points or anywhere else. And to be honest, for me, I felt that helped the fragrance last longer. Not saying that this fragrance had any issues of lasting long to begin with, but it had a different aspect to it. Sometimes I go very anosmic, nose blind to this fragrance, but when I wore it with this, I had no issues remembering that this fragrance was still there on my skin. The longevity that I've had with these solid fragrances, the ones that I have been at least 8 hours plus. I've had no issue with longevity. I never really had a longevity issue with any of these solid fragrances. To be honest, it's a great alternative to wearing spray fragrances or an actual booster, any way you want to use it. And one last application that I feel really works great is by putting a little bit of the solid fragrance in your beard, if you have a beard. I felt that was another good way to boost up the fragrance rather than just putting on pulse points, spraying the actual fragrance on. It was a great beard scent. Solid fragrances that I have are Barbershop, which is loosely based on At the Barber from Replica, Maison Margiela. Also Forbidden Plum, which is based on Plum Japonais, I think, by Tom Ford. Arabian Horse, which is their take on Harrod from Parfums de Marly. Royal Equestrian, which is their take on Leighton from Parfums de Marly. Interplay, which is their take on Baccarat Rouge 540. And also Irish Gentleman, which is their take on Green Irish Tweed. In my opinion, solid fragrances have been around for a while, but they are new to me and I feel are a new way of approaching fragrances without being too obnoxious with them. There are many other fragrances on Alexandria's website, solid fragrances. So if you stuck around this long, I have a little something for you. The good people at Alexandria Fragrances give me a 5-day discount code for their solid fragrances, and it's SOLID15. That'll give you 15% off on, I think, any purchase of solid fragrances that they have in their collection. So from the date of this posting, you have 5 days to get that 15% discount. And after that, hey, it is what it is. You're just gonna have to pay regular price. But the regular price is $29.99, so it's not that expensive to begin with, but 15% can help you out a little bit. Don't miss out. One more thing I forgot to add, none of these solid fragrances or even spray fragrances have been sent to me by Alexandria. These were all purchased by me, and these are my own review. These are my opinion, so if that means anything, there you go. I guess I can't really use the same outro that I usually use, that these are scented water, but I gotta say it anyways. Alexandria fragrances, at the end of the day, still scented water.